Ottawa police charge a man in connection with the crash that killed crossing guard Peter Clark at a Barrhaven intersection on Monday. The investigation continues as the community mourns the death of Clark. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Patricia Boal. Stefan is on assignment tonight. A 19-year-old appeared in court this afternoon to face charges in connection with a fatal crash that killed an Ottawa crossing guard. 55-year-old Peter Clark died after he was struck by a pickup truck Monday morning. It happened at the intersection of Cedarview Road and Kenneville Drive. Police said today Xander Wright has been charged with failing to stop after a fatal accident. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe said today that the city is open to doing anything to make the job safer for crossing guards.
We will do everything we can to protect crossing guards and to protect the children that are walking to and from school every day. So if the investigation into this particular incident shows that there are solutions that we can provide that will make their jobs safer and that will make children's lives safer, we'll do everything we can.
The suspect is scheduled to appear in court again on Friday. Police say the investigation continues. Well, housing affordability remains a massive hurdle, not only for those looking to enter the market, but also for anyone hoping to upsize. Today, the province announcing a plan to remove the HST on all new home sales, a rebate that was previously only available to first-time buyers. CTV's Austin Lee is looking into this story for us tonight and joins us live. This is going to make a big difference.
Well, it probably will, Patricia. The HST rebate for first-time home buyers purchasing a new home was announced last fall, but now it doesn't matter if this is your second, third, or even your 10th home. The province is looking to open that rebate up to everyone. The provincial and federal governments coming together to remove the 13% HST on all new homes sold in Ontario, up to $1 million. Ford says it will be in place from April 1st of this year until the end of March next year. The province is vowing to cover its 8% of the HST, while the federal government is set to cover 5%, its portion of the HST, but federal legislation still needs to pass for this plan to become a reality. Either way, it's welcome news for many.
I think it's a great idea for people to make housing more affordable for people. Even a little bit at a time will go a long way.
With home prices being so high right now, of course I'm all for it.
This is the most significant announcement for housing affordability that any level of government could make.
Jason Berggraf, who we just heard from there, he adds that he's hoping this announcement will help to double Ottawa's new home sales totals from 3,000 last year to 6,000 this year. As for homes valued at up to $1.5 million, they would be eligible for a maximum rebate of $130,000. And the Ford government estimates this program will cost the province $1.4 billion. Patricia.
CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, it could be a busy evening at gas stations in the region following a significant drop in prices. The average price dropped 3 cents a litre at Ottawa stations this morning to $1.66. However, the relief will be short-lived, with prices expected to rise 5 to 7 cents a litre tomorrow.
It's all moving on the mood swings of President Trump. The announcements he makes, whether the Iranian war there's going to be a peace situation or not. I don't know who to believe. He changes his mind every day. So the price is going up and down depending on what he pronounces on a given day.
The price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a litre since the end of February. Well, after a winter that saw dozens of freeze-thaw cycles, potholes are popping up by the thousands, and the city has 2 secret weapons slithering down streets to rapidly fill all those road holes.
I can tell you I've probably been through a few potholes with my bad car because the muffler is now loose.
Here comes the Python 5000 to the rescue, a pothole filling machine which can single-handedly clean, patch, and pave a hole in under a minute. The City of Ottawa has rented 2 units for the spring, which work nearly around the clock to fill hundreds of potholes per shift. So far this winter, crews have already filled more than 57,000 potholes.
It allows us to really focus on specific areas, really our problem spots where we want to limit our staff that are out working on the roads.
Over 12 tons of asphalt's been dumped in 3 days already, so we need your help. Tell us where the potholes are. Let's get them filled up.
On average, the city fills around 200,000 potholes per year. I think my car found all of those before they were repaired. Residents can report a pothole through the city's website. We have new details tonight about a fire in the Byward market earlier this week. Fire officials say the cause was an improperly discarded cigarette. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with the details. Katie.
Well, Patricia, the fire broke out in the basement of a building on William Street, and firefighters say it could have been much worse. This was the scene on Monday night. The fire started in the two-story building that houses Beans and Barrels Cafe and Lounge. Because of incredibly high carbon monoxide levels, fire investigators couldn't even get into the building to determine the cause until the next day. They discovered unusual fire patterns outside a trap door and say a cigarette fell through the trap door onto combustibles in the basement.
Thank goodness to the 911 caller that actually called it in, because it was roughly around.
No one was hurt. Improperly discarded smoking materials is one of the top 2 preventable causes of a fire in Ottawa, along with unattended cooking. Now, some neighboring businesses also suffered a lot of smoke damage, some remaining closed, some for a few days, but others it will take a lot longer. Patricia?
CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thanks, Katie. Well, an East End deli remained open for business today despite an overnight break-in. Someone broke into the Dumichel Meat and Deli on Donald Street early this morning. The owner says the front door was smashed, but nothing was taken.
This time they weren't looking for food. They were looking for some cash, which we know better than to keep anything out and in the store overnight. So they looked around, they thought about getting a bit of food, and then when the alarm went off, they ran out the door.
The owner is asking anyone who may have seen something overnight to reach out to them or to police. Valerie Grenier of St. Isidore wrapped up the alpine skiing season on a winning note. Grenier won the World Cup giant slalom race in Lillehammer, Norway today. Grenier finished with a combined time of 2 minutes and 16 seconds. This is the 3rd World Cup victory of Grenier's career and 2nd podium appearance of the season.
Route 30 is the most unreliable bus.
Well, coming up on CTV News at 5, a frustrating ride for commuters in Ottawa's East End. CTV's Leah LaRocque joins them for a ride along Route 30. And our Jackie Perez is here in studio tonight looking at your commuting weather and how it shapes up for everything else, Jackie.
Yes, Patricia, taking a look at the next few hours, we are anticipating some light flurries, even turning into some rain moving through. You don't see that right now here in Ottawa. It's about 1 degree right now. Kingston, Brockville sitting around 5, 6 degrees, a lot cooler in Petawawa and Pembroke, sitting around the freezing mark. When we talk about the flurries moving through, we could likely see that in the 6 o'clock hour. It is going to move quickly. It will transition, especially around the Cornwall area, from freezing rain to rain as conditions are much warmer along Brockville as well. So we're keeping a close eye on this. It should clear just after midnight for tomorrow, opening up to some clear skies. But temperature-wise, we are much milder than we have been for the last few days, sitting around the freezing mark for our overnight. And then into tomorrow, yes, so we're getting to a daytime high of 8 degrees. We'll have a full look at your forecast in just a bit. Patricia.
All right, Jackie, thank you. Here's what you need to know. If you love the sweet stuff, you don't want to miss the Vanier Sugar Festival this weekend. The event runs Saturday and Sunday at the Vanier Museo Park. Taking a live look at the roads now. Here's how your commute is shaping up. 417 westbound slow from Bronson to Pinecrest. Eastbound moderate from Riverside to Innis. On the 174 headed east, moderate from the split to Montreal Road. A couple of collisions, Trim Road at St. Joseph Boulevard, Carling at Woodruff, and Terry Fox at Castle Frank. Well, our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Manitoba is giving shoppers a tax break at the checkout counter in grocery stores. The provincial government announcing it will remove the provincial sales tax from more grocery store items, including snacks and prepared takeout meals, ahead of the Ontario government's budget on Thursday. CFR's question of the day is, should Ontario also remove the provincial tax on food?
I think it should be dropped on prepared food especially. I am blind. I don't cook very well. And tonight for dinner, I'm having macaroni salad, potato salad, coleslaw, and rotisserie chicken. Everything on that menu, I have to pay tax on. It's not fair.
Christy Cameron is here. Okay, so that begs the question. Some of us don't pay close attention when we go to the grocery store. What are we already paying tax on and what are we not?
So interestingly, most groceries, we're talking basic raw ingredients, are already exempt from the provincial tax. So anything you have to make at home, for example, the produce aisle, fruits and vegetables and, canned legumes, meat, these things are not taxed in Ontario. But the things that are taxed are the prepared foods, bags of chips, chocolate bars, pre-made salads, fruit trays, sushi trays, rotisserie chickens. And so that's why this is kind of an interesting move in Manitoba. I support it removing the tax on those things, but I don't think it would save people that much money. Like, I looked at my grocery bill from last night. There was only one thing that I would have saved money on, and it was like soda water. So we're talking a couple of cents.
It would save me money. I'm the one buying all those prepared things. I'm not taking the raw stuff home and making it myself. And this woman that you spoke to, Eloise, raises a concern too, that sometimes it is that convenience and you don't necessarily have more money just because you're getting the chicken that's pre-made. Sometimes it just really is an issue of not being able to do it.
Absolutely. She's blind, and a lot of people enjoy these convenience foods. I think there's a bit of nuance here. We shouldn't just lump them all together. Having a bag of chips is not the same as getting a fruit salad, right? But they're both taxed, and a lot of people these days, I think, are turning to those convenience foods. They're doing what they can. I had a food economist on my show today who was debating with me whether or not it's immoral to tax food. We tax food from restaurants. That's real food. Takeout food is real food. We tax over-the-counter medication, right? Like ibuprofen, acetaminophen. So it's an interesting debate.
You have a choice to go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the grocery store. Anyway, certainly an interesting debate as the budget is released tomorrow here in Ontario, and you can join the conversation with Christy. Leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy's segments anytime on YouTube. Just subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel. Well, we are continuing our look at challenging commutes across Ottawa. In Orleans, traffic congestion and an unreliable bus route 30 has left transit users frustrated. CTV's Leah Larocque has more. Leah.
So since our commute story aired, we heard from viewers, listeners, and transit users. And a route that routinely came up was the number 30. It starts in Orleans near Millennium Park and Ride and heads all the way to Blair. I decided to give it a try. So today I left Orleans around 7:20. The number 30 very early on and its route was already late. It came about 6 minutes late. And then time just started to add on to the commute as we made our way through Orleans because of traffic.
Route 30 is the most unreliable bus I've ever seen, to be honest.
Why?
It just never comes. So my bus should be at Brian Coburn and Jerry Lalonde at 7:34, and it should take 30 minutes to get to Blair. We are now 7:56, and we're still on Jeanne d'Arc, not even hitting St. Joseph yet in Orleans, so we're nowhere near Blair.
Catherine Kitts says that improving the commute for people in Orleans does involve a lot of bigger, larger infrastructure projects like widening roads. But talking to transit users today, what they say they want right now is a schedule what matches what actually happens on the road so that they know when their bus is going to come and that it actually shows up. Leah Larocque, CTV News.
I'm feeling like I'm running a million.
Well, coming up on CTV News at 5, City Folk may be on the move this fall, but its new location remains a mystery. And here's what you need to know. The Easter Bunny's helpers need your help this weekend. Stanley's Old Maple Lane Farm is hosting an Easter egg hunt on Saturday and Sunday. You can visit Stanley's website for tickets. And taking one more look at the roads out there, you are seeing some slowdowns in some of the usual spots tonight. Westbound from Bronson to Pinecrest. Eastbound not as bad, mostly moderate from Riverside to Innis and from the Split to Montreal Road. Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, Scrubs, The Masked Singer, Fear Factor, House of Fear, and Shark Tank. Well, another day of cooler temperatures in the capital, but we are expecting a bit of a warm up into tomorrow. Maybe warm up with rain, possibly. Jackie, another check on the weather. How is it looking?
Well, Patricia, we're not getting those double-digit temperatures that we were hoping for the plus side, but it is going to be much warmer than what we have seen nonetheless. I'm not quite there yet, though. So here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. We are above the freezing mark. It is 1 degree, but it is a gray day out, especially downtown Ottawa. Look at that Parliament Hill, not a sun in sight, but that's okay. We may be getting it by the end of the week, not quite for tomorrow. However, we did mention a little bit of rain moving through. We're going to start to see a couple of flurries moving in later this evening, and it will transition into some rain. We could see that around the midnight hour into the overnight. Still a slight chance that we could see the risk of freezing rain as well when you head out the door. 1 degree is what we're starting off with, but by noon, the sun's going to come out. We're going to see a daytime high about 7-8 degrees, but again, when it comes to the clear conditions, it will be short-lived. By the time the 3 p.m. rolls around, we're likely going to see rain moving through. Now, taking a look in the valley, overnight lows about 0. Tomorrow, daytime high will be 5 degrees, and it's going to be slightly warmer at the Seaway, where they too will hit double-digit temperatures. 10 degrees is the anticipated daytime high. Now, in terms of the precipitation moving in for Thursday afternoon, we'll likely see this around 3 o'clock. So you want your umbrella handy as well, especially just south of Ottawa. We may not get as much rain as most of eastern Ontario, but we are anticipating between 5 to 10 millimeters moving through. It should clear by 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, and by Friday, we are in for lots of sunshine. A closer look now at your 5-day forecast. 7 degrees a daytime high for Thursday. Sunshine, but we are getting back to cooler conditions. -2 will be the daytime high for Friday. It will stay this way for Saturday, where there is a chance of some flurries, but by Sunday, we're going to get back above the freezing mark with some sunshine on the way as well.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
So, Patricia, just about one more day where we can anticipate that these precipitations, heavy rainfall moving through. Again, anticipating 5 to 10 millimeters. Fingers crossed it is going to be just south of Ottawa, but we are keeping a very close eye on this because we are having sunshine for Friday.
Okay. Another day where there could be a little bit of everything, and then it improves on Friday. So we'll wait for that. Thank you so much, Jackie. And there were some signs of spring, I think, in Jackie's forecast there as we take a look at the stories you are checking out right now on CTV News Ottawa.ca. We also have something up here that suggests maybe spring is on the way. And interestingly, because it was quite a different winter from last year, this is happening on the same date. The Queen Ferry 2026 season will begin tomorrow, gets underway the same day it did last year. Always a sign that we are moving into a different season, a different time of year. All your other big news stories, including a hint at what is in the provincial budget tomorrow, online as well. You can check those out. Well, coming up, a supportive housing project to be built at the Royal will not bear the name of actor Matthew Perry. And here's what you need to know. Walk down the aisles and plan your dream wedding this weekend. The Ottawa Wedding Show runs Saturday and Sunday at the EY Centre. And if you are looking for your cheapest gas out there tonight, given that it is a better time to fill up, I don't know if it's going to be quite that cheap right now at Pioneer, but we are seeing gas prices in the $1.60 range that we have not seen for some time. A live check on the roads right now. 417 westbound slow from Parkdale to Woodruff. Eastbound slow from Saint Laurent to the Split. The 174 eastbound moderate to heavy. Bit of a delay from the Split to Montreal Road. Some collisions on the go right now. Carling at Woodruff. Maitland at the 417 eastbound on-ramp. Terry Fox between Winchester Drive and Castle Frank. You're watching CTV News at 5.
Pure Country 94. Ottawa's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is 1 degree in the nation's capital. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock. A 19-year-old man has been charged in connection with a fatal crash that claimed the life of a Barrhaven crossing guard. He was in court this afternoon on a charge of failing to stop after a fatal accident.
It's a fantastic announcement. It's a significant amount of money coming off a house, up to $130,000 off the purchase of a house for virtually anybody.
Ontario and the federal government providing some temporary tax relief to home buyers. Premier Doug Ford announcing the HST rebate will be expanded to all new homes in the province.
We just put our heads down and worked hard, and there's not a lot of teams like that.
Playoff fever has hit Ottawa. The 67s have surpassed expectations and start the OHL playoffs Friday as strong blonde contenders. And the Ottawa Senators have moved into a playoff spot as well, with less than a dozen games left in the regular season. Now the final 5 other local stories we are following. City folk is looking for a new home.
I'm feeling like I'm 1 in a million.
Construction on the new event centre at Lansdowne Park means the festival cannot be held on the Great Lawn in September. A spokesperson for Blues Fest telling CTV News Ottawa there's nothing official on a new site yet. City folk will be held in September. A supportive housing project in Ottawa for people living with substance use disorders will not bear the name of Matthew Perry. The project on Byng Drive was originally meant to be called Matthew Perry House in honor of the late Hollywood actor. However, the Royal says the partnership with the Matthew Perry House organization will not continue as planned. The project is still going forward. You will soon be able to fly from Ottawa to Hamilton. Porter Airlines announcing it will launch daily service between the Ottawa Airport and Hamilton on June 22nd. There will be 2 flights a day.
You know, the project's not only important for the residents of Riverside South, but it's also going to be one of the anchors of the town centre. It's located steps away from the new Limebank station.
Residents in Riverside South got their first glimpse at a new community centre. The building near Earl Armstrong Road will have a community centre and library, plus a playground and sports fields. Construction is set to begin next year.
Winner, Genyo.
And there was no winner in last night's Lotto Max draw. The jackpot for Friday's draw is now $60 million. You want to get your tickets for that. Plus 6 Max Millions prizes worth $1 million each. So lots of money out there to be won. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Patricia Boal. Be sure to join me for CTV News at 6. The early edition of CTV National News with Carolyn Jarvis starts right now.